Okay, hi everyone. I'm Jaina, and I'm the founder of the TheJiveAcademy. So basically, our TheJiveAcademy has organized the Mindful Living project for 12 days, and I've invited a few of my fellow friends in this field, in this metaphysics field, to share their experience with us on different aspects of metaphysics. For example, we're talking about previously on day one, I talked about Chemen Tunja. So today, Zel will be talking about from astrology point of view, and tomorrow we're going to have a party and feng shui and so on and so forth. So first, would like to thank everyone for joining again today, joining us on the day 2 journey for this mindful living project. And we'd like to thank Zel for joining us and spending her time to share with us the experience in from the aspect of astrology on this pandemic. And just a short introduction from what I know about you, yeah. So Zel is a very intuitive person. She has done intuitive reading for me as well before, and it was very interesting. And maybe, perhaps, you guys might have a chance for that later on, in perhaps during MCO, perhaps later. And from what I hear is Zel has started her journey of self-healing and finding out about astrology from about 10 years ago. And she realized that it has helped her in her life a lot, and thus she has extended this consultation and sharing of her knowledge in astrology to her friends and to her friends, colleagues, and customers as well. So today, Zel will be sharing with us her perspective on astrology point of view in terms of pandemic. So maybe I'll pass the time to Zel now, and welcome Zel, yay.
Yes, hi, thanks Jenna.
I will stop my video already.
Yeah, so I actually prepared some slides for today's topic. Let me just share the slide first, 1 minute. Can everyone see the slide?
Can,
yeah, good. Okay, so what I prepared today is actually talking about this entire pandemic from an astrology perspective. So what we will notice is that actually if you go to online, I mean if you go to YouTube or you go to Google anything, you can see a lot of people already sharing a lot of things about pandemic from an astrologer perspective. But I would just like to highlight those that I think is perhaps more important for us, and from there we can actually able to see what is the trend moving forward. Now, before I share, I would also like to highlight one thing is that astrology is a topic where we can't we as human, we can never 100% predict the future. I mean, it's very weird coming from me as a person that practice astrology and use it for prediction, purpose, things like this. But why do I say so? Is because astrology they show us the combination of how the planets look like on the sky the moment a certain event happened, or the moment when we were born. So when look at it this way, when we look at the clock today tell us, like say for example, now I'm looking at the clock show that okay, it's 7 p.m. and 10 minutes now, right? But the clock is only telling us what time it is now. It never tells us what is happening now. What to happen now is actually for us human to decide and to determine our future. So like now is 7 p.m. Maybe for some people it's dinner time, but for us, we are here today to learn a little bit more about astrology about the pandemic. So it's the same for astrology. The planets will tell us what is happening based on the combination, based on the arrangement, the structure at that time when the event happened. But again, what exactly will happen, we as human, we can never predict 100%. We can only tell best based on the current, I mean, the structure of the planets about what could possibly be happening. Yeah. So, by the way, feel free to let me know if I'm talking too fast or what. I mean, because I'm just worried if I would be missing any message. Yeah. So just feel free to let me know anything. Yeah. Okay. Now, over here, you are actually looking at an astrology chart, the exact moment where WHO declared coronavirus as pandemic. So I actually gotten the time and the details based on the news that I've been following. So we know that WHO declared coronavirus as pandemic on March 11, and they declare it in I don't know how to pronounce that word. Anyway, their HQ in Switzerland lah. Their HQ in Switzerland, and it was around 5:36 p.m. their time. Yeah. So that by using these details, we were able to generate the chart that tell us about the born of this event and what is it that we by reading this chart, what is it that we can know about it. Yeah, and it's the same thing for all of us over here as well. Open the full screen. Wait, yeah, I am 1 minute. I'm not sure how to do it. Wait, I'm a bit of a technology. Now, is it okay? I think I need to share another one. 1 minute. Okay, how about this? Is it better? Can see the slide? Okay, good. So yeah, so this is the astrology chart of on the born of the event, and it's the same thing for all of us here. We all have our own astrology chart exactly the same like this, based on our birth time, our birth details. Yeah. Okay. So what can we see from this chart? I mean, to a lot of people, I think looking at it is more like I don't know, like just a series of symbols and some alien looking thing. But let me just highlight to you what are the things that I think we should be knowing from this particular chart, from the birth of this event from an astrology perspective. Okay, what the pandemic chart show us? I would first like to highlight Neptune, the Neptune role in this particular chart. So we can see the Sun conjunct Neptune and Moon in conjunct Neptune. So over here it is, perhaps I should show you the chart, then you would know better. Now let's focus on Neptune over here first in this chart. Neptune in astrology, it actually talks about, it can actually talk about disease and also illness in a way, and virus, which is why when we want to look at such a pandemic like coronavirus, Neptune would be quite an important indication about what is exactly happening. Yeah. Now, looking at this chart, we can see that the moment when WHO declared coronavirus as pandemic, Neptune is over here, conjunct Sun. What does it mean, conjunct Sun? It means that Neptune is actually in a how should I put it, in a partnership together with Sun. Sun in astrology, it means vitality. Yeah, with a vitality of us, a human being. When you have Neptune conjunct Sun over here, it actually means that our human health is affected because Neptune is there. And so that actually talk about the first point on my slide over here, Sun conjunct Neptune. The second part, when we talk about Moon in conjunct Neptune, it happens over here. So we can see that Moon actually has some relationship with Neptune based on the green line over here. What does that mean? Moon, it reflects about us human, our emotion, our how do we feel about this entire thing. And when we look at medical astrology, that is a different field. Moon is also a very important indication to know that where exactly the illness or the disease is happening. It also can tell us a lot of information about that particular medical concern. When we have Moon in conjunct Neptune, it means that things are not in good balance. Things are not in good balance. The health is not in good balance, which is why it affects our emotion. And the interesting part about here is that we can see that Moon is in second house. Second house in astrology, it governs what? It talks about what? It talks about the way we make money. So when we as a public, when we first heard about coronavirus declared as pandemic from WHO, our very first concern is it's going to affect the way we make money. So it is very interesting that from astrology chart, you can see quite a lot of things. Besides looking at this, Moon and Neptune, I would also like to highlight is that Neptune over here is in Pisces. So Neptune itself is a planet where it is a planet is basic in normal days it's like a very dreamy, it brings illusion, fantasy, it brings a blurry distinction between reality and also dream. When you have it in the seventh house, Pisces in Neptune in Pisces, this is the Pisces sign. Where's my mouse? Okay, this is the Pisces sign. It also indicate what? It means that there are a lot of communication out there that brings out the characteristic of Neptune, illusion, and Pisces is which is actually because Neptune govern Pisces, it is the ruler of it's planet ruler for the sign of Pisces. It even strengthened the illusion and also the communication that is being shared outside in the world. So it also means that, as we can see right now, is that there are so many different kind of news outside, also social media, in the internet, all those things, that we as public, we as human, we need to have the wisdom to know what exactly is the news that we can trust and what exactly not what to be trust. Because when you have Neptune in Pisces, it is going to strengthen the illusion part, the untruth part, the blur part about what exactly is happened, and also what is exactly is maybe people just make it up. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I so far okay. Any questions so far? I'm not sure if I'm like diving into too deep about this astrology thing. Yeah. Everyone okay, right? Okay, I'm not seeing any new message. I assume everyone is good. Yeah. So I'll just continue. Yeah. Okay. Now, the other thing that I would like to talk about is midheaven conjunct asteroid Hygeia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I assume it's Hygeia. So in astrology, it's very interesting in the sense is that it's not just governed by signs. So we all have 12 signs over here. I'm sure you all will know your sun sign. Like myself, I born in late November. I will be Sagittarius. Like I know that Jenna, her sun sign is Aquarius. Yeah. In fact, a lot of the forecasts that you read on the in all the sources, they talk about how's your luck in the next month, in the next year, is all based on the 12 sun signs, the sun signs that you are having. But sun, like for example, this chart, we can see that the sun sign is in Pisces. Why? Because the sun is in Pisces over here. Yeah. But astrology is so much more than that. It's not just about the sign and the planets. They also have something called asteroid. Asteroid are a more recent finding that the astrologers found about, where there are like small little, I would say like planets that also play a part when it comes to talking about our life and also our future based on the astrology. Now, the asteroid that I was talking just now is this one, Hygeia, right? And midheaven. What does that mean? Midheaven is actually here. We can see this here, MC. It stands for midheaven. Midheaven, it talks about what in this particular chart, what is WHO intention in sharing this coronavirus as a pandemic? What exactly they want to achieve to the public? What they want the public to know about, and what is the image they want the public to know of them. Yeah. So when you have midheaven conjunct the asteroid Hygeia, which is here, asteroid Hygeia. Okay, in astrology, everything also they have like a legend of, or you can say like a fairy tale that go with it. Asteroid Hygeia is based on a goddess. I can't remember exactly the story, but the goddess, she governed hygiene. So it's actually quite an interesting thing. She governed hygiene, and then she also governed like, for example, what is the practice that we have been doing to ensure that we are having a good hygiene practice, making sure we're clean, things like this in our environment and also ourselves. So in this chart again, it talks about is that when WHO come out and say that, okay, coronavirus is pandemic, and it's because in a way they know that it's actually quite bad already at that time. They need everyone to come together and to practice a good hygiene at that time, so that this would not be spread, further and more. There are also some saying, right? Because in the early stage, this is a little bit of conspiracy theory lah. In the early stage, people were saying that WHO want to declare as pandemic, they were still saying that it's okay, you no need to restrict the travel to China, or you no need to restrict anything from China to come to the country. But at that time, when they really come out on March 11, that time to declare as pandemic is actually quite bad shape already. And they know that they want everyone to come together and to practice a very good hygiene. Only then we can control this virus. Yeah. So this is what we mean by mid-heaven conjunct asteroid Hygiea. And the other one that we talk about, we can look over here, is this IC conjunct a fixed star Akrab. Okay, all these are, all the stars and the planets in the sky. What is IC? Okay, IC is basically opposite your midheaven over here. So this is IC. Yeah. Now, in IC, is that the origin of where this thing happened. What actually is behind the scene. If we were to apply this IC in our own personal astrology chart, it talks about our upbringing. That means when you are young, when you are small, how did your family raise you up? It talks about this. When you have IC in this fixed star Akrab, just give me a minute. I actually want to 1 minute, yeah. I would like to show another information that is in relate to Akrab. Just give me a minute. I'll pause share for a while. Yeah? I'm just trying to look for the information. Okay, I'm sorry about this. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure why I couldn't show it, but I think I better just resume back this particular slide. Can see, right, the slide. Okay, basically, I thought I want to show some, some more stories about the fixed star Akrab. But Akrab, in short, it actually means crime. It means contagious disease. It also means it is not a good fixed star. It is a malefic fixed star, so-called. When you have it in the IC, in the origin of where all this thing happened, it is saying is that this is a contagious disease, and it is spreading out, and that is the origin of it. Why I think this is important to share is because there are also, again, some conspiracy theory that I've been hearing about. I'm quite a big follower of all this conspiracy story. People were talking about, is this disease, a bio weapon made by the country, or is this disease, brought by, I don't know, they say what, US military to China or something like this. But if we just look at this chart itself, it just merely say about it's a contagious disease. It didn't really talk about saying that it is a man-made bioweapon. It doesn't have a very strong indication of that, but it is just saying that it's a contagious disease itself. It's malefic, and it is, it can actually causes crimes, or causes increased rate of crime, increased rate of basically unhappiness, and also disasters around the world. Yeah, so perhaps it also shows us a little bit of answer about what exactly is the origin root of this particular virus. Yeah. So the other thing that I think why we are interested to know about the astrology perspective about this entire pandemic is that we also want to know is when exactly all this thing will come to an end, right? We are just we're hoping that maybe by this astrology chart it can show us how it goes. Yeah. So coming, I see some new joiners we have here. Hey, hi, welcome. Okay, so about on this chart, we can take a look and see what exactly is the outcome shown. based on the astrology chart that is generated over here. Now, we talk about just now midheaven conjunct the asteroid Hygiea. We say that means for the WHO to announce it out to the public, the objective is that they want everyone to start practicing a good hygiene, as per what the asteroid talks about. But in midheaven, it also conjunct another fixed star called Alcyone. I'm sorry, I'm still learning how to pronounce it. Alcyone. So Alcyone, this fixed star, in the astrology, it rules the base of the neck. And we all know that base of the neck, it means what? This is the main central nervous system in our body. And we can see that how this coronavirus is actually affecting our nervous system, the way our body is responding to it. And also this particular fixed star, it also talk about how this thing, it would be shown up. What is the outcome of this fixed star, the symptoms of it? It actually say that it can be shown up in a fever form. And also, interestingly, it says blindness. So, I mean, so far, when we talk about coronavirus, I don't think we see anyone that have the symptom of blindness, but I did come across a few cases where in US, they say that they don't have fever, they don't have, cough or anything else, but they actually have, what do you call this, the pinky eyes. And one of the things that they felt not comfortable is the eyes first. So it is very weird that this particular fixed star, is very interesting that this particular fixed star also show symptoms of it, fever and also blindness. Okay, coming back, so I say that midheaven conjunct fixed star. So how do we look at it? Okay, it's over here. You can see that the midheaven is here, and the fixed star Alcyone, I'm still learning how to pronounce it, is over here. It's conjunct together. Now, Alcyone is also in this particular planet, but not planet, is their arrangement is called Pleiades. Yeah, it indicates events that affect the family and family life. Yeah. Now we are talking about now is that, can the chart show the outcome when exactly all these things will end, right? So these Pleiades, in the normal days, is actually quite harmless. Yeah, but on a certain day when it is it is not behind, when it is not close to the sun, then it actually can cause quite a harmful result and outcome out. And I mean, I've been reading about this area. Some of the harmful result that it can occur is, it can happen is like, for example, I mean, great number of death, and this a mass, really like a very, very big scale of disastrous things like this. But again, I want to share that I'm not sharing all this to put fear into everyone. Yeah, this is what the chart talks about, and this is exactly what these things, this fixed star, this exterior, they represent. But later we will talk about, we as human, how can we prepare for all these things? Yeah. So coming back, a little bit of fear, but it's okay. Let's continue. So from April 30th to June 11th, the sun will pass over the pandemic chart midheaven. Yeah. Especially on May, and then until the midheaven on May 21st, 2020. What it means is that we might see an increased number of this infection. The disease will actually be more active during this time. Yeah, and especially from April 30th until May 21st. Why? Because as I said, the nearer the sun is to the fixed star Alcyone in the Pleiades, the worse is the outcome of it. But after May 22nd, we will see that we will have a new moon in Gemini, right on the midheaven. Again, midheaven is over here. Yeah. So what it also talks about is that perhaps on May 22nd onwards, we will see we will start seeing the reduction, the lesser impact of this coronavirus towards the society and towards the public as a general. Yeah. So this is what the astrology chart talks about. And again, just a recap for those that just joined. This astrology chart is developed based on the particular moment that WHO declared coronavirus as pandemic. This is the growth of the event, the birth of the event. And from this birth of the event, we are able to tell that at that time, when this event happened, how did public feel about? Public felt, imbalance in terms of emotion and also with the health issue, because we have the moon in conjunct the Neptune. Neptune in astrology stands for illusion. It also represents disease. And something quite interesting, yeah. Neptune in astrology also can represent lungs. Yeah. And to make things even, come in an even a stronger impact, Neptune in Pisces, because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, it like give it a double, a stronger a stronger focus in this area. So as a public, our emotion was, we felt imbalanced. We are worried about, emotion is in the second house of making money. We are worried about how are we going to make money in the future after we hear the news that WHO declared as pandemic, and that it obviously also Neptune represents illness. It conjuncts Sun, which is our human health. It also means that it is affecting our health, our vitality. Yeah. When WHO declared it that time, it actually wants us to practice a good hygiene, because the fixed star is over. The asteroid is over here, Hygia. And what is the origin of this particular virus? We can see over here. I see that we have a fixed star aircraft over here. It talk about contagious disease, and it also talk about it's a malefic big fixed star in short. It could also increase the crime rate, things like this. Yeah, and it is quite true. Like for example, we can see that in Japan, who have always been known for being a very polite country, they have, I think I saw one news where they were like a thief that gone into some shop, and that fella didn't steal money or anything. The fellas stole all their masks. So it's actually quite sad, Yeah. Then what is the outcome that we can tell about from this chart is that because we have this Alcyon over here in MC, if based on prediction, April 30th to May 21st, there could be a height. It could be the peak time of the virus, but we will start seeing a decline of it on May 22nd. That is the time where the sun start moving away from the fixed star Alcyon, which is the fixed star that rule the base of the neck and also the nervous system, and also it indicates the neck and nervous system, and it's affecting our family and also our family life. Yeah, I think it's very interesting, because the chart actually tells us the entire story there, and it's something that we already going through. Now I pull it out because now it's like April 4. I pull it out, you might think that whatever that I'm telling now is already happening now, but this particular chart I actually pull it out like a few weeks back on 11. This happened 11 March, right? I pull it back like mid-March, right? It already start telling all these things that we are facing right now. Okay, so any questions so far? Everything good? Wait, how can I look at the message already? If there is no question, I will just I'd like to continue to the next slide. Is we talk about what exactly we as human, what is the lesson we want to learn from the pandemic. So for this slide, for this part, we don't need to refer back to the chart that that generated just now, the pandemic chart, but it's more for our own knowledge based on the transit Saturn. Okay, I have been reading a lot about all these things, and I did some my own research and study as well. Yeah, a lot of people will be telling a lot of things at that time, but as an astrologer, I feel that we should never put fear to people. We should never use all these indicate of a fear to people, but instead of what we need to learn from this pandemic so that we can move forward. And I don't think this is the end of the world. There are also a lot of people that be saying that, oh my God, is this like the end of the world? Things like this. It's not. It's not. Because we are all moving forward to a new era where Saturn is entering Aquarius. What is Saturn in astrology? Saturn in astrology is like a strict teacher, a very strict teacher in our life. It wants us to learn the lesson. It wants us to be disciplined in a certain area. And once we learn the lesson, then we are actually good to go. Now we are in the transit of, when we say transit means that because the planet move around all the time, right? So transit is what we have now, but it doesn't, it won't be that permanent one. Now we actually have Saturn in Aquarius, yeah. What is the characteristic will be shown when Saturn entering Aquarius? Aquarius, they are three keywords when it comes to Aquarius: technology, progress, and justice. It is a very, what's the word called? Humanitarian sign. That's why you will see that your friends that is like Aquarius kind of friend, they are basically, you know, very people person. But their people person is not in the sense, their people person is a bit different than the Cancer kind of people person. Yeah, their people person means that they believe that everyone should be equal. And also Aquarius is a very progressive, a very evolution kind of sign. They want to make good use of technology and to let technology bring forward the human life, especially in promoting justice among humans. Now, now because we're now 4th of April, right? So March 21st to July 1st, this time, these few months, we can have a little bit of taste how Saturn in Aquarius is. I mean, in fact, we can sense now, right? I mean, we have to be in at home. We have to work from home. We have to rely a lot of technology like this Zoom thing, you know. We are challenging us, our human life, to welcome and accept using technology. So we will have a taste of it. But later, July, after this time, July 2nd, Saturn will be back to Capricorn. Now, Saturn has been in Capricorn for the past, how many years? I can't remember. Anyway, it's quite a long time, like a good 4 or 5 years Saturn in the Capricorn. Yeah, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Again, whenever I say a particular sign is ruled by the planet, it means that it gives extra to the planet. It gives the planet more energy or more strength in whatever that they want to emphasize here. So when Saturn is ruled by Capricorn, it talk about structure. It talk about governance. It talk about, you know, like the big boys club. The people that we look at them like, oh, you know, they have money, they have power, they have they bring structure to the world. So basically, it's your government, your bosses, the authority figure. So in the past many years, when Saturn is in Capricorn, we have been living our life as so. Yeah, especially for those that born in between 1988 to 1993. Actually, this time you might feel the impact even more. Yeah, 1988 to 1993 if you're born this time. Because why? You will have quite a lot of planets that is in Capricorn. That means you might have Saturn, you might have Pluto, you might have Neptune in Capricorn. So this time, with all these things that is happening, with the movement of this Saturn, you will feel the impact. In fact, if we look at the 1988 to the 1993 generation, they are the kind of like the first generation that start using social media. They start using internet. The happiness, or should I say the happiness, the pleasure of using it for communication, for interaction with people. But it is also because they are the first generation in all this social media thing. No one is there to tell them, hey, when you go internet, you cannot simply comment people, yeah, you know, like what is happening in Korea, right? The K-pop, I mean, artists have been getting a lot of comment, then it's very sad, then they commit suicide, things like this, right? Nobody is the social media in the internet govern them. So they themselves need to set the rule in social media and internet. That is what is happening when we talk about Saturn for this era of people. So I'm sorry, I'm everyone good, right? Am I like, okay, anything, just feel free to ask me because we have actually quite a small group, so just feel free to let me know if you have any question. So when we have Saturn entering Aquarius, we are welcoming a new era, and all this thing in this pandemic is basically preparing us moving forward to it. We need to start relying more on the technology. When Saturn is in Aquarius next year onwards, because it will be there from December 2020 until March 7, 2023, yeah, the authority figure the structure in the society will continue to be challenged. Will continue to be challenged. In fact, right now you can see that is happening right now already. You can see it, due to this pandemic, structure is being challenged. People have to work at home. And to quote a very simple thing, yeah, last time my Saturn is in Capricorn, it also emphasized a lot of in culture. What has been the culture that has been passed on for many years, and we feel the duty and the responsibility to upkeep the culture. One of it is what a simple thing is shaking handshake. When we see people, someone that is new, we will like shake hand with them. We will say, hey, hi, you know, to show our positive interaction with them, right? When you have this pandemic, you can't even shake hand. I mean, you can't even have human interaction. The most that you can have in terms of human interaction is through technology, like what we are having now. You can't touch the person. So it's really challenging us in terms of structure, in terms of culture, in terms of all the things that we have thought is the best way of doing things. We have to move forward from it and to use technology to replace it instead. Yeah. And but one thing about Aquarius is that though it is a very, I look at it like a very hippie kind of a sign, you know. So maybe because like Jana, she has sun in Aquarius, and maybe later she can share with us a little bit about how this sign actually affect her from a sun, natal sun perspective, lah. So it's very hippie kind of sign. It talk about justice, equality, humanitarian, but it doesn't talk about one thing. And that is something that I foresee would be a challenge in the next few years. Emotion interaction. Aquarius is not a sign that emphasis on emotion interaction, which means that in the future you will see people is that they come together is for the purpose of it's to achieve a certain objective. Teamwork is good because they talk about justice and equality. Teamwork is good as in progressing the human to a next level of technology, evolution, things like this. But in terms of emotion interaction, emotion exchange, that could be an issue. And so this is what I think we should learn from this pandemic, is that we need to accept the changes that is happening to us now, to use technology more in the future in wherever that we are doing, even though our outside environment, our government, our organization might not be as progressive in using technology, that's fine. We start using it first. We start embracing the characteristic of Aquarius. I think it will actually help us to cope with this particular situation better. One more thing last thing I like to highlight is justice, right? So Aquarius talk a lot about justice, equality. It also means what? It's not just about us human, yeah? It also talk about justice and equality to all life in the world, including our animal friend outside, including this earth itself. These few weeks of lockdown, these few weeks of, since the pandemic, we all human need to hide ourselves inside the house, things like this. I'm sure that you came across a lot of news where the environment actually got better, right? They are like animals coming to the city. They are, I think I saw the news in Italy, the Venice there, the river. The dolphin came out in the river because the river is so clean now. They can actually come out and enjoy the world without human, pollution, causing pollution to the environment. So that is part of the justice. I think from this pandemic, one of the things we need to learn is that moving forward, how can we actually show more care even to other life, other form of life like animal that perhaps is not in the, now we don't look at them as the same level as us, right? But actually all life is same. So how can we ensure that we care of them the same as how we care for ourselves, like that? So that's all from my sharing. I think also I took up quite a long time already. I'm sorry about that. If there's any question?
No question.
Sorry?
No question. Thank you.
Yeah. So if there is no question, I think I will just call this an end. But feel free to reach out to Jenna. Or wait, I need to stop sharing, right? How do I stop it? Oh my God. Wait. Okay. Yeah, so welcome back everyone. I hope my sharing is not too deep or too heavy for us. It's just from an astrology perspective, and it's just for our own reference. Again, like what I said in the beginning of in the beginning of this session, astrology chart is like looking at the clock. The clock will tell you what time is it now. It's 7:45 now. It will tell you what time is it now, but it doesn't determine what you need to do at this time. 7:45 right now, some people might be doing some other things, but we are doing Zoom. Same thing, astrology chart will tell us this is what happened. This is what the planet telling us about, but the exact detail of it is still for us human to determine it. Yeah. So that's all. Thank you so much for your time. This is a whole series of mindful living project. Please do follow the TheJiveAcademy on all the other series that they have, and hopefully it can bring you some I don't know, maybe some programs or some information during this time when we are all having a lockdown in our house lah. Yeah. So that's all. Jenna, anything?
Thank you so much, Azelle, for sharing. For once, I'm glad that I'm old because I'm definitely not in the 1988 category.
Yeah.
And apparently that my Aquarius also ada guna sekarang.
Oh yes.
To this hippie kind of life.
Correct. Oh, one thing very interesting is that when Saturn was in Capricorn in the past few years, right? You see, obesity is actually, because Capricorn is an earth sign. Obesity is a constant concern of every humankind in the past few years, especially I think in the Western country lah. We eat too much perhaps because it's an earth sign. So earth also stand for a bit like bulky, heavy, that kind. When you have Saturn in Aquarius moving forward, people will actually pay more attention to health. People will want to lose weight, will want to be, light lah, like Aquarius lah, basically flowy, like this. Yeah, kind of like that lah. Light and like an air like that. Because Aquarius is a air sign, so it's very, air sign is a very light kind of sign. And also it talk about intellectual exchange through technology, all those things lah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually. Actually, very
okay. So
don't notice me.
Yeah, thanks a lot for your time. I think I took up more than the time that is given to me, but yeah, do follow us and yeah, like that lah.
Thank you. Thanks, Al. Thanks, Al, for your sharing.